Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, all right?
Hey, good evening and welcome. Welcome to the YourFixTV studio on whatever platform you're watching from. I'm Monique Bradley.
I'm Pete Ward.
Welcome.
Welcome. Collectively, we have been known to be Pete and Monique.
Yes, that's true.
That's
and
exactly
we are also known as social media influencers. So we have content that has gone out through multiple platforms. And in fact, if you even Google Pete and Monique, you will find us. We're a search term.
We are.
How fantastic.
Everywhere.
So whether you're watching on Facebook or in the Facebook group tonight, whether you're watching on Periscope or Africa TV or YouTube, welcome to tonight's show. It's a big one. We're talking about the latest new trend that's happening in digital marketing. And this is a trend you need to know about. Well, it isn't really new. It's kind of been going on for a few years.
It's been swelling.
It's about to explode.
It's about to go everywhere.
Yeah, and if you're a business owner or if you've got a product that you've created or perhaps you are an entrepreneur and you're thinking about getting into promoting your creative ideas, or if you work in a business and you want to get greater reach and more sales over the line, you need to know about this trend.
Yes, you do, because a lot of times we hear retail is dead, bricks and mortar are dead. You know what? They're not.
They certainly are not.
The way people are coming to those retail stores.
So true. Very true.
Is actually dead. There is a new way.
Just listening to myself on Periscope tonight. Hi, if you're watching on Periscope.
There is a new way of it all happening. It's not, as Monique said, it's not 100% new. It's not new as of today. It's just that it is an irreversible trend or an irreversible wave that is going to either swamp you or you will jump on that wave and ride it all the way to the top. And I've found a trusty pen.
Perfect.
And the curve, we know.
Oh, I should have done this as a little infographic for you tonight.
Okay, so
didn't know you were going to do that.
I didn't. I just thought of it now.
Can't really see it. It looks like a boob.
Okay. At
on the side.
The very start are the bleeding edge early adopters. Okay, and in the middle there's the majority, and then you've got the late adopters. I think there's one missing in there. I think there's actually 4 of them. All right. Okay. So what's happening is that it's been building here. Building. We're actually just getting into here where the majority of people are starting to adopt a practice, and it goes all the way to the top. You make millions of dollars up here, and then it drops off. And
a new trend comes in.
And some people, and it comes across there. But what happens is if you leave it till now, you will miss out.
Hello, Mr. Steve 0420 on Periscope. Good to see you. So if you're wondering what this digital marketing technology or strategy is, it's a really, really simple thing that you've probably even heard of. And we're excited to delve into this topic with you tonight because it's something that we're all about. It's something that we train people to do in our business, and it's something you can use on a really cost-effective budget. Tonight's topic is in fact called, I'm going to show you the screen right here. This is tonight's big topic.
We got that, haven't we?
Pete, if you want to just flick over the screen.
Technology.
Dun, dun, dun. It's the rise of the social influencer. And that is a really big topic.
Dramatic pause there.
Did you like that, Pete?
Very dramatic pause.
And that's what we thought we would actually share with you guys tonight, because social influencers are making a huge impact on the digital marketing landscape right now. I mean, it's not new. They've been around for years. I mean, look at the Kardashians as a great example.
Yep.
Kylie Jenner. Is she the youngest? Yes. Kylie Jenner. She was that girl who helped a New Zealand girl who built a business. So if you've ever heard of the waist trainer, which is basically a corset that you can wear, which gives you a beautiful silhouette shape. Yep. The young lady in New Zealand who had the business of having these, Mr. Steve 0420 just said lol.
Hey.
Lol back to you. Oh. These waist trainers were, a small market here in New Zealand. So the young lady who had the business here in New Zealand decided to get some money together and get an Instagram picture of Kylie Jenner wearing one. It cost around, I think it was 75,000.
No, it was,
it
either,
250?
it was either 250,000 or 350,000. I'd have to Google that number, but that's phenomenal. Now she is now a multi-millionaire, so you can say that is money well spent.
So
well
good.
Spent.
So yeah,
One
Instagram post by an influencer.
Boom.
What was that?
Dramatic. The keyboard fell off.
Oh, whoopsie. So yeah, digital influencers and online influencers are one of the best things you can add into your marketing budget. And in fact, I was reading an infographic now that I think 41% of a digital marketing budget is actually being spent on and invest in social influencers. But there's some real key things you need to know about working with a social influencer, if it's right for your business, and why you should be working with them, because there can be some great things. There can be some bad things as well if they're not on brand for your brand. That's really important to know as well.
Actually, that's one of our 8 strategies. We have 8 strategies, and one of them is a brand positioning strategy where you work out where your brand fits, what it stands for, and the value of your brand. Because you can't erode your brand, or you can erode your brand in a second with the wrong social media post. We've seen it happen. It happens all of the time. Suddenly this brand is a mockery online.
That's so true.
You've got to protect yourself. You've got to make sure that you know what you're doing. So that's only one of the things. This is talking about, basically we're talking about promotion, our promotion strategy really, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Lynette Hill has just messaged in and said good evening, and a good evening to you, Lynette Hill. This is a great topic for you because you are becoming a social influencer right now in the field of health and wellness, not just amongst people who are looking for advice from you, but also amongst other practitioners in similar fields to you, or right across the health and wellness kind of vertical, I guess you could say, because you are becoming a voice. You are creating your own platform and sharing a message of wellness to the world. So a great topic for you to watch tonight. So the reason why we wanted to really share this is if you are looking for additional marketing for your brand, your business, your product or service, social influencers will work extremely well for you. So let's take a look at the first screen tonight. So it is the rise of the social influencer. Digital marketing has completely changed over the last few years, and I really wanted to talk around this topic tonight.
Yep.
So Pete and I have been working in the field of digital marketing for
About
5 years?
About 5.
5 years. And I actually have a qualification in digital marketing as well, because I thought I knew a lot about it, but I thought I'd actually get qualified to do it. And why I want to talk about this is with us, we completely changed our business because of the change in digital marketing. So when we first started out, Pete and I were actually musicians and performers. Yep. And we used to use digital marketing. So Pete's background is IT. Mine is I'm a professional actor and singer. And
with a broadcast degree.
Yeah, with a broadcasting degree as well.
And I've been 20 years in IT. I worked out the other day, 20 years of building websites and networking and all that service stuff that all the geeks do.
And so when we first started working together and were kind of coming up with ideas, we started promoting ourselves a lot in social media, and a lot of people would come to us and go, wow, Pete and Monique, you guys are amazing. Could you do that sort of digital marketing for us? So Pete started getting gigs doing websites, and I started picking up a whole raft of social media clients, and we spent a lot of time and created a very successful business, and we've had staff working with us, and it's been massive. However, over the last couple of years, we noticed that some of the things that we'd developed, some of the strategies, all of a sudden didn't work. And that's because Facebook in particular, because it is the biggest platform, one of the biggest you can use to connect with people, the algorithms in Facebook would change. So that means an algorithm dominates what you see in your newsfeed. And chances are, if you've missed posts from friends or posts from pages that you actually like, it may have been you haven't engaged with that post or that person for a little while. So Facebook decides that you probably don't want to see much from them. Hence, you haven't seen any more. So all sorts of changes have happened, even down to more recently. One of the clients we were working with all of a sudden wasn't getting any reach anymore. And we wondered why. Well, in July, there was an algorithm change, which meant if somebody clicked from a Facebook page to head to a website, if that website took longer than 3 seconds to load, so if you've got big images or content on there that wouldn't load properly, you were being penalized. And it means that Facebook wouldn't share your content as much as somebody who might be doing similar sorts of content but had a really fast loading website. So there you go. Things like that happen.
Yes. And what does that mean for your brand? Well, what it means for your brand is you're not getting through to the people that you thought you used to get through. When you put a post up, less than, it used to be 7% and then it's gone down to 4%, less than 4% now of people are seeing your post, which means if you've got 1,000 people on your page, 4% of them are seeing your post. The rest of them are actually not seeing your post at all. 100%. It doesn't show up. That's a big deal. And you know why? Do you know why? It's very, very easy. Facebook wants you to pay to boost the post to those people that are missing out. So, how do you get around it?
Such a good question, Pete. A very, very good question.
That might be a question for a different night. But yeah, I just thought I'd add that in, that's what's going on behind the scenes. That's why they changed the algorithms, because they want businesses to pay for posts.
So at any given time when you're on Facebook, I think it's around 1,500 pieces of content could be served to you at that one time. So Facebook gives every single piece of content a newsworthy rating. So if something's topical, it's going to be seen as more newsworthy. If you've got a page and your followers engage with your content all the time, it's seen as more newsworthy. But if people aren't connecting with you very much, you're not going to get a newsworthy rating, and chances are your content won't be seen. And that's because Facebook wants you to boost it, so you pay them money.
Totally.
It's a business. I don't begrudge them that.
Not at all.
It's just business.
We use it all the time.
We do.
Hello to Raja Chetan.
And Zaya Sajid, who's also watching.
Very nice.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, yes, digital marketing has changed a whole lot. And also people have changed too, thanks to the rise of reality TV and things like streaming. People don't want overly commercialized content anymore. They want real content. They want to be able to talk to people. They don't want hype. And the cool thing is that influencers do live product demonstrations. They do conversational videos like this. They chat with people. It's not about infomercials. It's about being real. And most importantly, an influencer will sell the sizzle, not the steak. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go through tonight.
And you've just got something there on point number 1 there that mentions that influencers are the new testimonial.
Oh, that's so true.
So you used to go out and get a testimonial from somebody. Now it actually matters who that testimonial was from. That's the difference now, is that you can go get 7 of your customers and look, it was great. The review thing, it was fantastic, and then it's been abused. Now you can log into any number of sites and leave a 1-star review and destroy someone's career or just reputation or business. Reviews are going out. Now people just go, oh, there's just too much information out there. There's too many good reviews and bad reviews and this and that and back and forwards. Now they're looking to someone of basically authority to tell them, it's okay, it's all right, I'll hold your hand, let's go and buy this thing together.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine because I've done it.
I've done it, you can too.
You can too. So they are the new testimonial. So I just noticed that point there.
And that goes with tonight's next point that I really wanted to show you guys. People trust people. And that's really a follow-on from what Pete was saying. Now, when it comes to, you might be talking to a friend, for example, and they might say, oh my goodness, I've just found this great new cafe. They've got the best coffee ever. That will be enough to get you through the door of that cafe. You've been influenced by your friend. It's also called peer-to-peer marketing, or as we know it in this sense, influencer marketing as well. So often influencers, like say the Kardashians, they're out there living this beautiful life that, many people aspire to live. And they're influencing buying decisions just by being themselves and by showcasing a product, a brand, or a service. Because people who look at them either aspire to be them or they want to be with them. That's the way it works. They want to be their friend. By having an influencer sharing what's going on in their lives, it's all inclusive. It's bringing people in. And those followers that follow them, they see a beautiful Instagram post and they think, well, I want to live a lifestyle as beautiful as that. I need to click the link to buy now.
True.
And that's really how it works.
It's true.
They see these icons in the media as their friends. And that can be incredibly beneficial if you find the right one to support you and your business.
That's right. Now, what's happening? What's happening is that people, I read a story the other day that they had some statistics. I can't find the story for tonight, but I should have. They had statistics in there that showed something like, it was like 63% or something like that of people no longer trust what the brand is saying about their product. They only trust what the influencers are saying about their product.
So true.
Which is why we're talking about this tonight. It is the rise of influencer marketing. You know, there's all sorts of different types of marketing. You know, you've got, you know, what's the one where you interact with it? You know,
conversational marketing.
No, but that's one of them.
That's one we're going to talk about tonight.
Experiential marketing.
Experiential marketing.
You know, you've got to be involved in the experience, and then you've you know, formed a common ground. People don't have the time now. They've got busy lives. So what's happened is they used to search a brand, and they would go to the brand website and they would believe everything that the brand told them that was good about that product. And what's happened is, unfortunately, they've been burned too many times. That's essentially what we're saying, especially young people. Young buyers in the marketplace, they go, yeah, right, I'll just put up a meme about that. You know, that's the thing.
So true.
You know, when the brand says it can do this and it can do that, they're like, I'm going to go and find someone who really knows, right? And the funny thing about that is that influencers are being paid to say what they're saying, but because they've built the reputation first, people will believe them because they're risking their reputation. They are not going to attach their reputation to a shitty product. So that's actually what's happening. That's the crux of this whole thing, is that they don't want to. No influencer wants to be involved in a crap product, so people will now believe them.
Yeah, and this isn't new. It is in the digital space. But if we go back to style icons throughout the ages, when I think of Audrey Hepburn, I think of Chanel, and I think of Tiffany. So she, through being a style icon throughout the ages, makes me think of two very significant iconic brands. Every time I walk past Tiffany's, I see that blue, you know, that blue signage, and I'm like, one day I shall be just like Audrey Hepburn by having a piece of Tiffany's.
Awesome.
And really, that's the core of influencer marketing. And if you think about it, winged eyeliner, that's been influential. Beehive hairstyles have been influential. There's been influencers right throughout every era you can imagine. Cleopatra was an influencer with her style. But now, instead of waiting for years to be able to interact with that brand, you can do it in a split second. You can see somebody wearing something online, and then you can click the link to buy now, and you have that same product in your home within a few days. That is the real trend, and it's changing behavior of shopping online and in real life as well. Now, I noticed a couple of comments coming in. First of all, Raja just said, good evening. Let's have a look. Good morning. Good Lord, that's a vital piece of information you gave us about Facebook. So if we have to pay the price, where to pay? You can use Facebook advertising, but we're about to talk about that very shortly as well, because the whole landscape of Facebook advertising has changed as well. Gina Sterling just said, yes, word of mouth has always been the best recommendation, which is effectively what digital influencers or online influencers are doing. Gina Sterling just said, I've never watched the Kardashians. I admire people who contribute to the world. I love you, Nanny Gina. I was talking about you today, with a client, talking about turning you into an online influencer. So watch this space. And Raja Chetan's just said, people believe people strategy. About that. It's a primitive instinct we all humans have. We all want to be part of the herd. When a mate tells you, hey, only 2 days left for the 50% sale on products, that's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Digital influencers normally, however, have a big audience and a big following, and they do it all online. So they may never interact with a real human being in real life. And that is the rise of the digital influencer.
That's right.
Okay, so let's take a look at the next slide. And this is what you were talking about that you need to know, Raja. Ad blockers. All right. Ad blockers. No deal.
No deal.
Pete's daughter was just talking about this the other day, actually. 26% of people using a desktop computer actually have ad blocking set up on that computer. So that means those people, if you're trying to serve an advert to them, it will not be seen. Now, Pete, you talk about that.
Well, it's basically using cookies and other remarketing tools that they've used with the Facebook Pixel and things like that. And as people are tracking, and Alexia is another one. And online, there's so many ways to track what you're doing online, where you're going, who you'll see, what websites you're interacting with. And so what happens is that people have got sick of that.
Yes, they have.
Right? And so they're sick of all these ads popping up all the time. I mean, okay, the 12-second ads, YouTube pre-roll, that was quite a long time to sit and wait before you could click it, and now we've got down to 6-second ads, so it's like, okay, and now that seems like a long time to sit and wait for 6 seconds, It's like,
yeah, so true.
So what's happened is technology evolves and people evolve and they try different things, and everything gets shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. So as advertisers, you've got to punch more of your brand into the message, but what if someone's blocking it completely?
Yeah.
You've got to find other ways to get to them, and usually that is through the use of video content, and which is live streaming, which is what we're doing now, so you can use that effectively. And the other way is to you can't just serve up your traditional Google AdWords and things like that, and display ads and things like that. You've got to think of real crafty ways to do it.
Yeah, that's so true. And at the end of the day, people are just tired of advertising. So how else can you connect your brand, your product, or your service to your ideal client? Well, like we've already said, people trust people. So they want to connect with these influencers, and influencers are your new digital advertising. So you may not have the budget of $250,000 to get one of the Kardashians to promote your product online, but there are a raft of other opportunities that are available to help you do that. And it's most important to deliver not a pushy sales message. It's about the value of the content. In fact, talking about what this is going to do for you is no longer relevant. It's actually about how it's going to make you feel. That is really what sells in the digital space, and that's what the influencers are there to do. We've moved away from informational advertising into emotional advertising. It's about connection and sharing a story, and that's what online influencers do the best, right?
Yep, they do that. And I'd like to add on to that, it's kind of hasn't changed. You believe you're going to live the movie star lifestyle by believing in what the influencer says.
It's so true.
They've got this beautiful life, and you can have that too.
Yeah,
if you just use the same products as they do. That's
Nike
what they
does
do.
That so well.
I know they're selling that dream. They're selling that whole connection to you're going to feel like a millionaire even though you're not one, because you just spend all your money on their product.
That's true. And that emotive dream space of style of marketing is actually what we call future focused marketing. So it's about painting a picture for people so that they can see themselves in that picture and go, wow, if I just spend $79.99 right now, I can look just like that. Yep. The reality may be a different story, but the dream is real. And that's what influencers can do so well for your brand. Hello, Tracy Brown, who's watching. Hello, Don Morgan, who's watching as well tonight.
Now, I'd just like to point out a couple of things, just pop them in here. We're talking about influencers. Now, there's two kind of streams, really, that we want to highlight. One is that basically using influence to sell your brand or your products into that, connecting with influencers, okay? And the other is if you want to become an influencer yourself. And so we've come across so many people lately that all of them have said, oh my God, I want to be an influencer. I want to be that. And they look at us and they search us on they Google Pete and Monique, and you can do that yourself. Pete and Monique. We've got a few comedy shows. We've got some shows like this. We've got all sorts of things to do.
We've done heaps of stuff, kids stuff.
We've done all sorts of things. And you look at it and you just go, and the one thing everyone says is, oh my God, you guys are everywhere. How do I do that? Now, funny enough, we can teach you.
Yeah, we can teach you.
But we have to charge.
That's so true.
Because they're not just milkshakes. And it's not just bringing you to the yard.
So yes, we either can connect you with an influencer, or we can teach you to become an influencer. Either way, it will help your business. Yep. So the first stage is you want to create more brand awareness for your business, and then through market saturation, by becoming a brand that's heard, seen, and remembered, that's how you get sales. It's actually really simple.
It's simple but quite hard all at the same time. And it takes time and effort and money and dedication, and we're totally dedicated to it. But we've got some brands, and we've got a couple of brands that when we do some stuff, Monique wears some jewellery.
Fabulous Vu.
She wears some OBR Merino clothing when she's on film or on camera with Ray McVinney. Who's the MasterChef judge in New Zealand. If you don't know that from the series of MasterChef in New Zealand, we do a live stream of his cooking show every Tuesday at 6:30 on a Tuesday night New Zealand time. I always get that wrong. I'm sitting there thinking, I've got ages of time. Whoopsie.
Yeah.
Monique wears that stuff, and people go, oh my goodness, I
Where
like
did you
it.
get
Where did you
that?
get it? I want to buy it. And then they make sales. And we refer them through. She refers them through. So that is influencer marketing right there, because they see Monique wearing it. They go,
people
that
ask
looks
me,
really good.
Or people ask me about my skin, and I use Kathy Organic Skincare. I'm very open about that. I had a problem with pigmentation. I talk about that story. And the result for them is they see more sales, and they see people asking me about the products and where they can get them from. Avocado oil is one of the products we work with.
You've got Fabulous
Vu earrings on today.
Just all of that stuff. It works. It actually works. So, interestingly enough, Kathy Organics, their return sales on their website have gone up since we've started our campaign with them. That's really good. You could go, well, is that really because of that? Well, look, we won't know 100% because we haven't polled every single person that's come back and bought it. But that's what you want, return sales. You want return sales. But you've got to put the effort in at the start using an influencer to tell people to go to Kathy Organics and buy.
So true.
And we've done lots of video for them.
We have.
Trade shows and expos and things like that. Live streams gets your brand out there.
It certainly does.
Absolutely.
Now, Tracy Brown has just said hello. Hello, hello, lovelies? She said, Tracy, tonight is a really good session for you because you are an online influencer with Scentsy, and so you just need to do more and be everywhere.
That's right.
And Gina Sterling also said, you two are so informative and interesting. I've learned a lot this evening and this morning watching your other show. You've given me food for thought. Hey, that's great, Nanny Gina.
Nice.
That is so cool. I can't wait to see you next time you're here in Auckland because I've got a photo shoot lined up for you, just saying. Tracy Brown, and soon a Scentsy warmer, calming your environment. You know it's going to be on camera.
We've got a couple of those lemon ones that you gave us the other day. We've got them stashed around the place.
And
they do work. People walk in the door and they go, oh, that smells
nice.
And it's like, it's all,
thank you. You need to speak to Tracy Brown, an independent Scentsy consultant.
Absolutely.
That's how it works.
That's as easy as it works. That's right. Right.
Okay.
On with the show.
So here's a really good point as well that I would love for you guys to learn about. We all know that market penetration can be incredibly hard, especially if you are a small business and you're trying to make a big noise in the digital landscape. How do you do that? And I've got a great answer for you.
Very good answer.
Now, when you are creating an online community, when you're competing against really big name brands, so for example, Pink Monique, we're competing with Jono and Ben, just as an example. Now, the answer for us to grow our audience is not to necessarily put content out everywhere. It's to put out the right content and get our community shouting for us. So that means to reshare our content as much as possible. So we then grow our following organically. We've got real people who want to follow us. We become more influential. And the result is that other brands then see us as influencers and want to work with us. So a great example has been First Scene, who are an amazing costume hire company that we've worked with. Another great company is Tristram European, who have Skodas and Volkswagen. Look, we've got a great campaign coming up with them very soon. We've just been test driving cars. And we're not there to sell you a car. We're there to tell you what we think of the car. And they all are fantastic. I 100% hand on heart can tell you that. We're in an interesting position too that we get approached by a number of brands to work with them, but we will only personally work with the brands we believe in. Because at the end of the day, we like you guys and you're actually the most important thing to us. having an audience that watches and interacts with us.
Yep.
And we only want to share products with you that we actually think are going to be helpful to your life. So my Wednesday daytime show, which is Easy Living with Monique Bradley, it's about food, living, and lifestyle. I have a branding guideline that basically decides what products I will share on that and what products I won't share on that. If it doesn't help make your life happier, easier, or healthier, I will not talk about it. Because my followers and my audience are really important to me. And so that is what I have in place to ensure that everything I talk about, hand on heart, I've tried and I believe in.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's very much about credibility. And working with an influencer will give you greater market penetration. Why? Because they have an audience.
They have the audience already. They've built their brand. They've spent their time and effort building their brand, their audience, and it's credible.
Yeah, that's true.
They're not just buying likes or Fiverr.
No, that's true.
They've done the hard yards, and now people are listening to them and looking at what they're saying and what they're doing and what they're buying, and they're going, actually, that's somebody.
So Mary Haddock Sanderland, who's a dear friend of ours, who is an online influencer as well, she's an amazing woman, and she has slowly grown her community to around, I think it's 26 or 28,000 followers.
Wow.
She hasn't bought any likes. These are real people who follow her. And so she works as an online influencer and does a lot of great work. Her agendas are about human rights. They're about LGBTQ, I should say, and about everybody feeling good in their own skin and loving and accepting themselves. She's an amazing woman. There's sometimes a real political slant to her content as well, which is always really interesting. Definitely an influencer to follow because she shares some really interesting issues and some great stories as well, doesn't she, Pete?
Yep. That's what it's about. It's about, and we're not talking about being an influencer tonight. We're just talking about
how
the
they
rise of the influencer marketing. But, there's a whole even science behind
there is
how it works and how you find your platform or your soapbox per se. We talked last week about platform.
We did talk about platforms.
That's right. So this is a lead on from that, and it's like once you've got your platform sorted, you can become an influencer by jumping on that soapbox
true.
Letting everyone know. Some people we've seen online, unfortunately, are extremely loud and penetrating, because you were talking about that in your slide, but they actually don't influence anybody. In fact, all they do is influence people to unfollow.
Yeah, so you have to be mindful of that too.
Don't choose that person or don't want to be that person. Yeah.
Now, Jan Turley's actually watching us tonight from Australia and said hello from Australia, you superstars. Hello. Now, Jan, I really want to commend you. You've been doing a lot with influencers. I noticed that you just had a photo on your website with Natalie Cutler-Welsh, who was wearing one of your wraps and your snoods on your website. She's a huge social influencer, particularly in the field of parenting, entrepreneurship, and digital marketing as well. So she's a really that's a great example of using influencer marketing for your website and for promotion as well.
Yep.
So well done, a good move there.
That's right. Raja has said he shouts for us.
That's so true. Good. That's so true. Well you
done.
Do, Raja. And Gina Sterling said yes. That's right, Tracy.
Yes.
Excellent. All right, so that's a great point right there. Market penetration can be hard. So use a social influencer to help get your product, brand, or service in front of a wider audience so that you don't have to focus on building your audience right now. Your influencers can do that for you. So, micro to middle influencers. This is something you need to know about. So there is actually an advertising budget standard based on the amount of reach you get in social media that has a dollar value. So when it comes to working with an influencer, we use a digital marketing tool which is on my phone, and we can calculate according to a certain amount of reach how much a campaign will cost you. And it's the same when you're working with an online influencer. So for example, in Instagram, if someone has 1,000 followers, that could be charged out at how much per 1,000 followers?
It starts at $5 and ranges up to $15 in this kind of arena.
So on Instagram, I have, say, 9,000 followers. So what's 9,000 times 5? 5 nines are 45. So I should be charging out my Instagram posts at $45 a post.
Yep, anywhere between 45 and obviously up to the $15 per 1,000 mark.
Cool.
Depending on, well, I suppose the more thousands you have, the more of the dollar you can put on per 1,000. I guess that's really the thing. So,
and the influencers that have the biggest following in Instagram, as an example, beauty is number 1. Fitness is number 2. Now, my area that I work in is food.
Yep.
And that's actually the 4th highest category. So I know that for me, working and, sharing lots of food images, I'm going to start ranking higher because that's what people are searching for more.
What's number 3?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Probably chicks in bikinis.
Travel?
Maybe cats.
Maybe cats.
I can't remember. Those were just the ones I remembered.
Trying to think of, yeah.
You can Google it anyway. I was going to share a whole bunch of slides with you, and I thought, no, let's just get the topic out there. Yeah. So it kind of depends on the category that you work in if you want to be an influencer. On the flip side, in Facebook advertising, cost per 1,000 impressions can be anything from around $5 to around $25 per 1,000 impressions. So I know as an influencer, the amount of audience I have and the amount of reach I had. So one post I did recently had 40,000 organic reach. So that would mean if I had 40,000 organic reach, I probably had around 45,000 impressions. I can't calculate it because my phone's died, but I could probably cost that out at maybe $100 a post to have that sort of reach. No, actually it would be more. So I know, for example, Ray McVinney is a great example. We've been achieving, when we achieved, say, close to 1 million organic reach, which gave us 1.2 million impressions, Facebook impressions, that would be an advertising spend of around $4,000 or $5,000 for one 30-minute show. So just to give you an idea of how it's all charged out, it's just like advertising for television, it's just like advertising for radio or the newspaper. We all have statistics that we work by to ensure we know how much reach is possible and what the cost is. And influencers work exactly the same, but instead of charging you on how much reach they might be able to achieve, it's charged out by how many followers they have. And then they can then say to you, I'm going to achieve this, and it's going to cost you this budget. It's that simple.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, what have we got next?
So, what have I got next, Pete? Oh, Raja Chetan has just asked a question. Please explain the Instagram money charging, Monique. Does that mean the account holder gets the money or who? Yes. So if you find a social media influencer, so for example, Kylie Jenner, she's got millions of followers. She will be paid if she's got a particular product she's promoting that is not her own creation. She is paid for that directly, and it could be around $250,000 and over per post.
Now she'll go through a manager, obviously, for that, but a lot of these Instagram, micro influencers.
Oh yes, I must talk more about that.
Yep. So obviously, you would probably connect to them directly. You would, you can PM them and go, "Hey, I was interested in what your rates are." They've probably just got an email address or something, or they'll just PM you back with their rates and just go, this is how much I cost, this is my reach, blah blah blah. They'll have their stats sitting there. If they've done it before and they're into it and they know what they're doing, they'll have it all sitting there and they'll be ready, and they'll be able to say, I can do this type of post and it'll be, I'll be dressed like this. It's all branding. You've got to make sure your branding fits with their branding. So they'll have a brand package that they can give you. So,
yes, and they can normally send you back a media kit, which will give you an idea of the, like Pete's saying, of their reach, what they can do for you, whether it's a blog post that gets sponsored, an Instagram post, a Facebook Live like we do. It's all chargeable, and that's paid directly to the person who delivers it for you. Now, micro to middle influencers are not your top tier influencers like the Kardashians. Micro to middle are people like us, so we're micro influencers. So we only still have a small reach, so we don't have millions of reach, but we're working on it. A middle influencer would be somebody over 100,000 followers. And then when you're getting into your top tier, you're looking at multi-million influencers.
Yep.
So each level will charge you more because it's every pair of eyes on your brand has a dollar value. And that's the way it works.
Funny enough, we are looking to put together a whole set of influencers, specifically in the
fact,
beauty,
we're already doing it.
Where we are in the beauty and fashion arenas. That's some of those verticals we're working with. We've come across all sorts of people, and they're like, we want to be involved in what you guys are doing. So Pete and Monique, watch this space.
Watch this
space.
We
will be releasing our influencer marketing package on the world very, very soon.
So excited about it as well. So excited.
So, we can either make you an influencer or we can connect you to the influencers.
Yeah, so true. All right, let's take a look at the next slide, Pete. But the biggest part of this change in digital marketing is what we do, and it's called the conversational model.
It does.
So as we've learnt, social media, suddenly everybody has a voice. So everybody can be part of the conversation, like you guys are being part of the conversation tonight. And I can just see Sarah Diamond Broderick. Hello to you, you beautiful creature. Nice to see you. Raja's just said, oh, wow, at what numbers they start getting money? I mean, there must be criteria for followers. Some to be crossed to get the moolah. Yes, there are. Yep, there are. Some people start very small, and so they might get paid $20 a post. A friend of mine who works as a television presenter, he gets paid $1,000 per post. Wow. So he does very well. Yep. It depends. It depends how much they charge and how much they feel they're influencing other people's decisions.
That's right. And once they've got something, once they've charged it and it's worked, and they keep asking for that money, and people keep paying it, and then they grow and grow and grow and grow. So you've got to kind of just work it through and find who you're targeting and how much they want. So and look, some of them want too much and they get it wrong, and so you just look at that,
test the market.
You've got to compare it, you've got to look at it and be very careful, and just choose somebody. A good example, Ray McVinney says, I was going to cook duck from Countdown today and it's freaking awesome, and suddenly Countdown sells out of duck because he is a massive food influencer.
He certainly is. And even for me, more recently I've been talking about my weight loss journey, losing more than 40 kilos in weight, and it was amazing. Overnight I built a mailing list of over 500 people, because all of a sudden everybody wanted to know how I lost weight. And on Friday I'm actually launching a PDF download of my journey and the food that I eat now, what I've changed in my life. So I'm actually being seen as an influencer in food and wellness for weight loss and finding your joy.
Specifically low carb.
And it's taken me years. It's taken me years to find that.
Yeah, that's right. Because, if you want to, just explain a little bit there, it's not that Monique's just going low carb. It's just that we've discovered there's actually scientific data available about our genes of how much carbs can be processed by different people, and it's a different level for every single person. And so what we found out is basically Monique can't process carbs. It's not like she's just going low carb just for the sake of it.
Because it's a trend. It actually works for my body.
Yeah, it's her genes. So it is genetic. So you've got to find that out first.
Yeah, that's so true.
And we'll be releasing all of that stuff as well.
So very exciting. Oh, and Tracy just said you're amazing. Yep. Tracy, you are.
Yep.
Raja just said, I mean, how many numbers of followers at least to be in the kitty? I couldn't tell you.
Yep.
I don't know. Some people have only got 1,000 followers and they're out there, they're telling everybody they're really influential and they're earning money for it. Yep. So there is no bar. The thing with digital marketing is nobody's set any rules. Everybody's free falling.
Yep.
There's no guidelines. There's just some ideas around how digital marketing is manipulated, and everybody's playing their own game on the same field.
Yep. I guess to add to that, if someone's only got 1,000 followers, but 50% of them do what that person says, then 50% of their followers are doing what that person says.
Yes.
So if someone's got 10,000 followers, but only 10% do what they say, so it's just a sliding percentage scale as well,
Yeah.
you know. So
you might have 100,000 followers and only 2% engage.
yeah. So yes, it's pretty. It's all numbers and schematics. Is that the word?
Schematics. Yeah, good word.
Yeah.
So it's about knowing the influencers you want to work with. So the conversational model is what we do best because we both like to talk, let's be honest. So the conversational model is the latest trend for social influencers. So the rise of live streaming is becoming a huge influence in society because we can do what you guys are doing right now. Yeah. We're talking. We're having a conversation, and there are certain things that we recommend when we talk. You know, for example, I've already talked tonight twice about Fabulez jewellery. You're going to remember that name. And when it comes to perhaps a husband looking for a present for a wife for Christmas, what is he going to buy? Because I know, Gary Brown, you're probably watching as well. You're probably going to buy Fabulez for your lovely, beautiful wife, Tracy. And that's the way it works. Yeah, sucker. No, it's beautiful jewellery.
It is.
And basically, it's that concept that, you know, by having a conversation, if you have a problem with a product I'm talking about, my job as an influencer is to answer that question for you. So I have a lot of responsibility as an influencer to ensure I know my stuff. And a great example was the avocado oil. Can I just grab that?
Yes,
do you mind?
please. Yep.
I'll just grab that now.
Yep.
This is a product that I work with. I have chosen to work with this product because I believe in the health benefits. This is Green Touch avocado oil. It is amazing, but my job is to actually understand why it's going to be amazing for you. So yes, I can understand the science behind avocado oil. Today I talked about the difference about unrefined avocado oil, which is this. So it hasn't been tampered with by heat. This is pure. This is, the oil is actually taken out in a centrifuge. Did you know that?
Wow, no,
so there's no heat. So this is the finest product in the market. I believe in this product. It's a bright emerald green color. And I know the health benefits it's going to add to my life. If you add avocado and tomatoes together, for example, you will absorb more of the benefits of that tomato into your body. Now, tomatoes have anti-cancer and anti-aging effects.
Wow.
So we all want that, right?
Wow, that's cool.
So that's me being an influencer. But it's a product I believe in.
It makes my eggs tasty in the morning.
Oh, I know, right?
I have never liked avocado.
I know, but it's helped me lose weight.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
And
that's sweet, Pete.
You know, I still won't actually eat avocado, but I'll have the oil, and I have it on instead of olive oil. And
so, how did I get Pete to do that? I asked. He asked me questions about it, and I educated him about it. And that's what conversational model of marketing and influencer marketing is all about. It's about what we call AMAs.
Yep. Ask me anything.
Yep. Q&A.
Yep. Q&A. Same thing.
Question and answer.
Thing, you know?
And live streams.
Yep.
And that's where my job as an influencer is to remove the barriers to sale. Why is this better than any other product in the market? If you go to the supermarket right now and you get other avocado oils and you pour them out and they're a yellow color, they've been heat processed, which means you will not get the benefits of avocado oil that you need in your diet.
Wow. That's awesome.
So if you want to live a happier, healthier life, you need Green Touch. Just saying. Not that I'm even selling to you guys tonight because that's not my job. But
just a good example.
Yeah, just as an example. Why do I love Fabulez? Every piece tells a story and creates a heart connection, an emotion connection. I wear this because my father died of a heart condition. So every time I touch it, it reminds me of my dad. And every piece in Fabulez has a story. Why wouldn't you buy Fabulez if it means something to you? So there you go.
Yep. That's
how it works.
Absolutely.
Right.
What have we got there?
Okay, so those are our big points for tonight. And when it comes to influencer marketing, you have a choice. You can either work with an influencer, you can become an influencer, or you can watch your business die.
Yeah.
And we don't want that for you. Do we, Pete?
We do not want your business to die.
And you had a great example of this.
I do. Buggy whip makers when the automobile turned up.
Oh, yes.
Yep. You can imagine it. There's horses everywhere. Everyone's built a whole industry around horses with, wagons, and they all need whips, buggy whips to make it all happen. Right, there's a whole lot of makers churning these things out. The automobile comes put, and changes history. and all of a sudden changes the retail space because they were retailing them, you know.
Yeah.
So changes, supply and demand. You know, it changes the distribution model. It changes the manufacturing model. Suddenly,
people lose jobs.
Yep, that's right. People lose jobs. People have to adapt to a different industry. So what's happening now with digital marketing is it's coming along, and it started to. And I said this about 5 years ago, or maybe a little bit less, about 3 years ago. Soon, it won't be social media marketing. It'll just be absorbed back into the general marketing term because it was a big fad for a while. But it's just really another channel. So you've got print is still available. People still want magazines. There's not as many, but still want magazines. They still listen to the radio. There's still TV, and there's digital online, you know, marketing. And yes, it's growing and growing and growing. So what's that? It's a slower burn than what everyone thought. But what we're saying here is basically don't let your business be a buggy whip maker sitting there going, but I've always done it this way, and I just need more sales, and I just need more people to stop buying those automobiles, and I'll be right. You've actually got to think about it and go, right, okay, automobiles changed the history, you know, stuff has changed, let's get onto it, and let's get into the new way, which is using influencers to market my business, because I could be sitting in a retail store, Topshop.
Topshop's a great example here in New Zealand.
Great example that's just happened. Who was the face of that brand? Nobody. Nobody was the face of Topshop. Nobody said, I'm wearing Topshop, you should go there. Nobody. No social influencer at all was in front of that brand. Not that we
saw, anyway.
No, not at all. Not in New Zealand. Nobody in New Zealand, but certainly not from overseas. So in fact,
when it would come to buying fashion, where would we go? We'd head straight to Sylvia Park because they had H&M.
H&M. Stronger brand. You know, all sorts of other brands that celebrities are wearing in America, and you know, and it filters across to here. You know, we know a lovely woman, Caitlin Taylor. She's got a fantastic business called Chasing Kate. She knows what's going on. She is an influencer.
She's very much a social influencer.
She has her finger on the pulse of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So go to her site, chasingkate.com.
Yeah, Chasing Kate, CAIT.
Kate, that's right.
.com. Yeah.
She is amazing. So she's a great example of being an influencer.
So true.
And I tell you what, she's got some good ideas.
She's got some great ideas.
You know, just all sorts of things. One time she did 3 different outfits with a pair of jeans.
Yeah,
you know?
so true. And her focus is on the everyday woman. So it's not about high-end couture or anything like that. It's about everyday style. Yep. So she's appealing to a really wide market as well. So she is incredibly good as an influencer. And I noticed Gina's comment coming through, who said, I have a friend who's a chef and a very good one. I was telling her about the avocado oil and how you know if it's unrefined. I learnt that on your show this morning. She was impressed. Well done, Gina.
Nice.
It is so true. You want an avocado oil that is the same color as the avocado, or should I say the fruit that it comes from.
Nice.
That's how you know if it's the best product. So well done. I've been an influencer today. Thanks, Nanny Gina. That's awesome. Gary Brown just said, what? He's probably saying that about us telling him he should be buying his wife jewellery.
Oh, yeah, probably.
But that's okay. We love you anyway, Gary. So, and Tracy, looking out for you.
That's right. So we will be launching our media mentoring very, very soon. It's all building up at the moment.
It's so exciting.
Because, you know, people go, okay, how do I do all of this stuff then? And we will mentor you.
That's so true. And on the flip side too, if you want to be connected with social influencers, we have a whole bunch of amazing social influencers that we can connect you with. Yep. So if you want more promotion for your brand, your product, or your service, just send us an email, info@yourfix.tv, and we can connect you with the right people, and we'll make it really cost effective for you as well to ensure you get the right results that you're after. So it is time for us to head away.
Yep.
Why, you ask? Because Monique is testing low-carb recipes. And Monique last night made a low-carb mac and cheese, which I can hear calling from the fridge right now.
Yep.
So finally, here's some things you need to know. We can train you to become a social influencer or connect you with the right one. All you need to do is email us info, not influencer, info@yourfix.tv. And there are lots of different ways that you can work with us as well, Pete.
Let's just rip through them because
Do it.
We've got them there. Work with us with influencer training. So that's what we're talking about. Content structure, if you want to know how to structure your
blog posts.
Yeah, blog posts or newsletters, social media, everything. Camera training, if you want to go on camera yourself and you're a little bit nervous about it.
Well, you don't know what to say.
Yep, we do camera training. We've got technology consult. You go, okay, well, which camera should I buy? I want to do live streaming. Can my computer cope with it? What lighting should I use, etc., etc. That's what that one is about. And then we have...
So exciting. You can have your own show. Who wouldn't want their own show?
Yeah.
So much fun. If you are too freaked out about having your own show, but you want to promote yourself or your brand or your product or service, come and be on one of our shows. We've got a whole bunch of shows launching in 2018 as well. Super excited. And as well, if you want to turn your knowledge, your tacit knowledge or your, what's the other knowledge called?
There is explicit knowledge, tacit knowledge, and embedded knowledge.
All that stuff. If you want to turn that into money, you can actually create a passive income stream for yourself. Yep. How? Talk to us, because we know how.
That's right.
All right, Pete, back to the studio. That's it.
Cool. That's it.
It is time for us to go.
Awesome.
We have had a fantastic time. We'll just check the newsfeed to see if we've got any other questions. Oh, Raj has just said, so how you teach us about that? Are you going to provide a course? Either it's going to be through internet or you are an academy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes and yes and yes.
Yes and yes and yes.
That's right.
It depends. What do you want to be? Do you want to be an influencer yourself? If so, we will teach you online.
I think it needs mentoring through the media side of it all, of how to grow your business.
Yeah.
It's all of that. We will be doing that. So it will be through virtual live classrooms like this. And it will be through online courses and everything like that.
So true. And hopefully when we head to India in December, we may even have time, hopefully, for a 1 hour session in real life with you. Who knows?
Amazing.
Who knows? Okay. Gary Brown says, I've got to get organised with the show. Gary.
Oh, yeah.
Both you and Tracy need to come and visit us here in the studio and let's do a brainstorm and let's get things happening.
Yep.
Because I think this is your time, my friend, and I think it's a nice way to earn a little bit of extra income too. You know what I'm saying?
Exciting.
And I want to get Tracy on the show too, on my daytime show for ladies, baking cupcakes and talking
it's not
sensey.
just for ladies.
What's the ladies watch though, Pete?
Yeah, no, but it's not just for ladies.
That's true. I had a lot of men watching today as well.
Yeah.
You watched it, didn't you?
Yeah.
You thought it was good, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Pete.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have to go.
Very good. All right.
Thank you so much. It's been a load of fun tonight. And remember, social or digital influencers are the way of the future.
Yep.
You've got choices. Become one, work with one, or watch your business die.
That's right.
The ball is in your court.
Right. Remember this, my little picture there that's very hard to see with the lighting on it. There it is there. Okay, early adopters, the early majority, the late majority, and the late adopters. That was what's going on in the majority.
Don't be a late adopter.
All right.
Do it now.
Do it now. Don't miss out. Get in there now. Boom. We're just
Sailings
at that stage.
today.
We're just at that stage where it's heading up for the first set. It's been early adopters, and now it's time for the early majority.
Yep.
Get onto it and make it happen.
Get on board. Watch your business grow.
Sweet.
Time to go, team.
Okay, see you, bye.
We've enjoyed your company.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Bye. Transition.